Bonjour. Bonjour for those of you who speak French. I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the audience first. So I didn't want to try to monitor and to help the discussion about the topics we'll be discussing this morning. My name is Mathieu Puchemin. I'm the Managing Director for Moet Hennessy, covering Singapore and Malaysia. We have a fantastic, very exciting topic to discuss this morning, conspicuous consumptions. And we have 4 speakers. I'd like to introduce them very briefly to you. We have Dafna Goor. Dafna is coming from beautiful Israel, and she lives in Boston. She's a doctor candidate at Harvard Business School, and she will be talking about the imposter syndrome of luxury consumption. Thank you in advance for your time. She traveled more than 20 hours, right, to come to be with us this morning. Thank you very much for that in advance. Thank you. We have Andy as well. Andy Yap. Andy, you're home. You're in Singapore. I'm also from Singapore. I love this country. Andy is a professor at INSEAD, beautiful, outstanding business school as well as Harvard. And you will be talking about the cost of conspicuous consumption displays during selection decisions. Thanks again in advance. I would like also to introduce Yajin Wang from China, but living in the United States, in Maryland. And you're a professor of marketing at the University of Maryland. And you will be talking about I am out of your league. Women's luxury consumption as signals.
Got it.
And yes, and then I have Susan. Welcome, Susan. Another beautiful lady and a beautiful smile coming from Peru. Susan Calderon. He lives in Madrid, and she's a doctor, PhD candidate as well, like Dafna. In Madrid at the School of EU Business School. You will be talking about the unspeakable dark side of status, low colors value signal status, unless you mention it. Thanks again in advance. So with that done, I would like to please invite Dafna to start this presentation. What I would like to do, if you don't mind, is that you make your notes, and then we will ask questions, and we will have maybe a brainstorming or exchange of ideas or comments at the end of the 4 sessions, instead of having at the end of each of them. I think it's better to organize that at the end, right? Thanks again.
So, hello again. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dafna, and I'm very, very excited to be here today to present to you luxury experts work on the paradox of luxury consumption, selling dreams in the age of authenticity. And this paper is in collaboration with Nala Erdabeyeva, Anat Keinan, and Sanjay Kanel. And it's basically the same paper as the imposter syndrome from luxury consumption. However, it's under review at JCR, so we got some great feedback from them, which made us change a few things. And as a result, we also changed the title of the paper, but it's the same paper. And I'm just very grateful to be here today and looking forward to hearing your thoughts and ideas about the paper, so please feel free to ask questions during laughter. So the luxury industry, as you all know, has been receiving a lot of attention and enthusiasm in recent years. Not only from consumers and popular press, but also from analysts and investors. It is often labeled a dream-making business, and the luxury industry is indeed fast-growing, lucrative, and crisis-resistant. Luxury products are the best in their product category, so consumers often use luxury to signal desirable qualities, such as status and power and success. And in turn, they expect to receive attention, social recognition, and even better treatment. Today, however, I would like to show you that luxury can be a double-edged sword. While luxury holds the promise for elevated status, it can also make consumers feel less authentic and even like imposters. When I talk about authenticity, I focus on consumers' evaluations of self-authenticity rather than the authenticity of a product or brand. Across all our studies, we use authentic, non-counterfeit luxury products. And self-authenticity in the context of luxury consumption is a consumption experience that embodies consumers' true self with an alignment between their values and identity and their external expressions. So consumers can feel inauthentic if their behavior and actions violate their sense of self and identity. And that could happen if they are presenting a false image, for example, trying to impress others. So from preliminary interviews that we conducted when we just started this project, we saw feelings of inauthenticity from luxury consumption. For example, a consultant from McKinsey that got a promotion and told us that he bought a Rolex watch to signal his new success. But in fact, he told us, he felt that the watch did not represent who he really is. And so he felt inauthentic. So how would marketers respond to that feeling of consumers? We know that managers and CEOs of luxury brands, if we ask them, they don't sell products, right? They sell dreams. They sell fantasies and fairy tales, whether it's cars or yachts or vacations or fashion. They don't sell a product, they sell a fantasy, a fairy tale. We know that Ralph Lauren is not designing clothes, he's designing dreams, and Ferrari are not selling cars, they're selling a dreamlike lifestyle. So we see in the individual level and in the societal level two very strong needs and messages. One is telling us, be authentic, stay true to yourself, and the other one is telling us, dream big, aspire for more, for bigger things. And it comes from everywhere. Our families, our friends, advisors, colleagues, the media, politicians, celebrities, internet gurus, they tell us, stay true to yourself, keep it real, be authentic. But the same people and the same media are telling us also, dream big, dare to dream, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And so those two very important needs that are getting more and more attention today, the need to feel authentic and the need to dream, could sometimes conflict. And what we argue is that luxury actually triggers that conflict many times. So today, I would like to try to focus on 5 studies as much as possible, and to show you the effect that luxury has on feelings of authenticity. And basically, luxury sometimes decreases feelings of authenticity, and that is because consumers associate buying luxury with buying a dreamlike lifestyle, with buying a fantasy. I would focus also on the idea of subjective and objective attainability of dreams, whether consumers expect to actually reach their dreams and attain their aspirations. And I will try to also suggest a solution and intervention that will help those consumers to feel more authentic buying a luxury. So across our studies, we use real luxury products. Consumers also recall an experience that they had with a luxury product, and they also think about a future purchase that they will make. For the operationalization of luxury, we use price, brands, and the personal experience of luxury. So for the first study, to establish the main effect of luxury on feelings of authenticity, we went to the Met Opera in New York. And the offstage scene at the Met is very glamorous, to the extent that the Met has a website, a blog, that follows what people wore to the Met, to the opera, in the previous evening. It's called Last Night at the Met. And so we asked women that were there at the opera to imagine that they're going again to the opera and they want to buy a dress to go to the opera. They go to Bloomingdale's, and they find two dresses that they like and fit them well. One that costs $150, and another one that costs $2,000. Then we ask them to indicate which dress will make them feel more authentic and true to themselves, and which dress will help them gain more recognition and attention. And what we found was a trade-off between status benefits, the attention and the social recognition that they were expecting to receive, and feelings of authenticity. More specifically, women indicated that the luxury dress will help them receive more status benefits, but will also at the same time make them feel less authentic compared to the non-luxury dress. So we wanted to see if these results hold with real luxury items and also with a between subject design. So we went to an Apple store in a luxury shopping area, and we surveyed again people that were shopping there. Specifically, we gave them iPhone covers that were by a brand called La Mela. It's an Italian brand, and the iPhone covers are covered with gold. Half of the participants were told that this is in fact a iPhone cover that is gold plated and costs $320, and other half of the participants were told that the iPhone cover is made of metal and costs $20. Then we asked them to indicate how authentic would they feel using the iPhone cover, and we used 5 different items: authentic, honest, true to yourself, imposter, and fake. And we asked them again also to what extent will they feel that they are trying to impress others when they use the iPhone cover. Here again, we find the same results. There is a trade-off between status benefits and feelings of authenticity. Specifically, people who are in the luxury condition expected to impress others more, to receive more status benefits. But at the same time, they expect to also to feel less authentic and less true to themselves. And we see that across the 5 different items in the index, and for that reason, we will use the same index throughout our studies. Now we really wanted to understand what is the psychological process behind the negative effect that luxury has on feelings of authenticity. We also wanted to see if there are consequences for that, so whether people enjoy luxury consumption when they feel authentic or inauthentic. And so the psychological process behind this, as I mentioned before, is the associations that people may have for luxury, and that is the association of a dreamlike lifestyle, something that is even removed from reality, like a fantasy. And so for this study, we conducted a study at a university, and students were about to graduate. And so we asked them to imagine that they got a job offer and that they're going to a restaurant with a friend to celebrate a job offer. Half of the participants read that they're going to a very fancy, very expensive restaurant, and the other half read that they're going to a nice, not very expensive restaurant. And then we had a list of questions for them. Again, we used the authenticity index. We asked them to what extent would they feel authentic eating in that restaurant. We also asked them about status benefits, to what extent that will eating in this restaurant impress others, will signal their status and high success. Then we asked them to what extent the lifestyle that is associated with the restaurant is perceived like a dream, is close to a fairy tale, removed from reality. And how likely are they to enjoy that experience, the consumption experience? Again, we find the results are replicating here. Consumers in the luxury condition expected to receive more status benefits, but felt less authentic compared to the non-luxury condition. Interestingly, the luxury condition also increased people's expectations and associations of a dreamlike lifestyle that they are purchasing by going to the restaurant, and that mediated the effect of luxury on feelings of authenticity. So we see here a serial mediation. Basically, that luxury makes people feel like they're buying, once they're buying the luxury product or the non-durable experience of going to a restaurant, they're buying into a dreamlike lifestyle that makes them feel a little bit less authentic, less true to who they really are, and therefore they enjoy the consumption experience less than they expect, than we would expect. Now we wanted to really understand what is this dream thing that we were talking about and try to identify the segment in the population that actually, I'm not showing it right now, but there is, across all our studies, we control for income and socioeconomic status, and we see that this effect is stronger than income, right? So we wanted to see who are the people who are more likely to feel like imposters and less authentic when they consume luxury. And so we focused on this personality trait of expectations to achieve one's dreams. And to do that, we used a scale that is basically the psychological entitlement scale. And just to be on the same page, psychological entitlement is a personality trait. Entitled people believe that they deserve more than others just because of who they are. So there is no link between effort and outcome. Entitled people expect better outcomes and more resources just because. And some of the items in the scale that we use that are quite extreme are like, if I were on the Titanic, I would deserve to be on the first lifeboat. Others are, great things should come to me, and so on and so forth. So in this study that we conducted in lab, we asked participants to recall an experience that they had, either with a luxury product or with a non-luxury product that is a basic product. And then we asked them to indicate how authentic they felt in that experience, and we administered the psychological entitlement scale. What we find here again is that luxury decreases feelings of authenticity, making consumers feel less authentic. And specifically, it's very interesting, those are the unentitled consumers who feel the effect of luxury on feelings of authenticity. It's the unentitled consumers who are more likely to feel less authentic buying luxury. And when we focus on these two items that are mostly very correlated with, we did a pre-test, right? So we wanted to see whether psychological entitlement is actually predicting these expectations to reach one's dreams, achieve your dreams and aspirations. When we look at the entire scale, this is significant. When we look also at those two very extreme items in the scale, we see the same thing. Unentitled consumers who don't have very low expectations to attain their dreams feel less authentic when they buy luxury. And the last study, we wanted to see really what is the role of subjective attainability and objective attainability to dream. And so this study was conducted online. And we wanted to also try to manipulate and suggest some intervention that could help people feel more authentic. So we described it was with American participants, we defined what is the American dream, and asked those participants to list two things in one condition, two ways in which they can achieve the American dream, and two ways in which they personally would never be able to achieve the American dream. So that manipulation we did to make people really get into the mindset of the possibility of attaining their dreams or not being able to attain their dreams. Then everyone read and imagined that they're moving to a new neighborhood and they're throwing a housewarming party. And that in that party, they're serving a luxury champagne, Dom Pérignon.
Yeah.
Then we asked them to what extent will feel authentic serving Dom Pérignon. what are the status benefits that serving the champagne will yield. And we also measure socioeconomic status. We also measure socioeconomic status to see whether objective attainability to dream, so the actual ability to purchase a dreamlike lifestyle, can affect their feelings of authenticity. And what we found is that when we prompt consumers to think that they are more likely to attain their dreams, they feel more authentic when they think about purchasing and using luxury products. At the same time, we saw two main effects when the option, the idea of attaining dreams is subjective or objective. When they actually have more means to attain their dreamlike lifestyle, they also feel more authentic consuming luxury. When we look at the status benefits, there are no effects. There is, with this sample, an agreement that luxury does help to achieve status benefits like more attention, social recognition, better treatment. So just to summarize our findings, we see that luxury actually sometimes can decrease feelings of authenticity, and that is because consumers associate buying luxury with buying a dreamlike lifestyle that is out of reach, is a little bit out of reality. Those consumers who are more likely to experience these feelings of inauthenticity are unentitled consumers who have very low expectations to attain their dreams, of attaining their dreams. But again, we can try to help those consumers, making them subjectively, personally think and believe that they can reach their dreams and aspire higher. And that is it.